Welcome to the second edition of SafetyNet, the programme covering safety issues in the railway industry. Amongst the topics in this programme is news on an automatic track warning system called Minimel, which was trialled on a live site at Church Brampton in Northampton, information on the preparation of two other trials of automatic track warning systems, the RWE and IWS, a follow-up on the TCOD trials featuring Newport and Swindon, and we speak to the Railway Inspectorate about the maximisation of green zone working. We begin with Minimel, an automatic track warning system. It is activated by a train hitting treadles on the track, hardwired to a control box at a work site. It has been on trial on a re-sleepering site at Church Brampton near Northampton for a 6-week period. Minimel can cope with up to 8 trains in any one direction at any one time by counting trains into the site and then out again.
It can cope with most scenarios on the railway. It can cope with multi-track, single-track, twin-track, whatever you put in front of it. As long as you put a treadle on the line, it will cope with it.
As the train hits treadles entering the site, warning lights and a warning sound are activated. These are deactivated when the train hits the out treadle.
As soon as the train hits the first treadle, then the turkey, as we call it, it starts to go, and then the lights start to flash.
And basically, when the siren goes, when the lights go, the train's on, and you just move to the place of safety, and that's just as easy as that.
The system is fail-safe. If vandalised, if a connection is broken, or if the battery runs down, the warning lights and sound are activated. And rather than a lookout man alerting the staff of an approaching train, it is the train itself that sets off the warning sound and lights.
The main advantages of it are that the system warns the men that the train is approaching, and it's operated by the train itself.
Human lookouts, you've always got the nature of human failure, that factor that comes into it. With a machine, it's fail-safe.
Well, really, to be honest, it's better than human because you can see the lights further than what you can in human flag.
Response from those working with it has been positive.
It's quite a good system. I think it takes a little while to actually trust it, having not worked with it before. But we've been here about 6 weeks with it now, and once you actually use it a few times, been on it a couple of weeks, you do get to trust it. With the flashing lights when the train comes into section, and they'll stay flashing, and especially if there's one comes on the other road, so you know not to step back, and as long as you remember not to go in when them lights are flashing, you feel fairly confident with it, so it's not bad.
Once installed, Minimel is maintained by a safety agent at the control box.
You can have just one person stand by the machine, and the other 2 people say the 2 further lookouts could be working.
When you have the system, you have one man and the other 2 guys in the production. And he's not human. He needs no food, no sleep. He's standing in the rain, in the snow, all the time.
Drivers have been commenting on the system and have responded with enthusiasm.
The driver can actually visualise the site of work. OK, through his notices he gets advanced warning, but he can actually pinpoint it. And from the earlier run as well this evening, even in early dusk, you can pick it out from quite a distance away. And that, I think, is a big advantage.
The effect that it would have on the driver would be to give him far more peace of mind that he's not going to come across a gang of men working on the track when he is going at a speed that he can't stop at.
During the trial, the site was open to visitors for 8 days, and representatives of all maintenance and renewal contractors, Railtrack and the Railway Inspectorate, visited the trial site.
Most of the people that have seen the trial appreciate the potential of the equipment, and we're now looking to go forward.
For more information and a copy of the evaluation report, please contact Richard Redfern on 0121 654 2868. The individual warning system, or IWS, developed by the Stein Company of Germany, is a radio-based system which will be trialled with emphasis being on maintenance activities. Trials are due to start throughout various sites on Railtrack Scotland.
In the trials, we hope to explore the different environments and how the system will shape up really, and what it can do for us in different types of railway environments, and how it can increase our contractors' access to the line.
I'd like to see the IWS trial look at places where we can improve safety warning systems for our staff.
And the system must be able to take it from the easiest to the most complex layout we've got, and it must be easy to actually put this system in place so that the staff, when they go out there, they're not spending 3 hours setting the system up to do a 10-minute job.
My personal view with the scant knowledge I've got at the moment is that anything that's going to improve safety is certainly worth trying. And the wee bit of knowledge I've got in it, it looks as if it could fit the bill in certain circumstances. So I'm quite happy to go ahead and give it a go.
The system aims to reduce the need for lookouts, which will make more manpower available.
I would find this a very good system to operate because up until now we've had to utilise a lot of men on lookout duties. What I would need to be happy with would be the 100% safety aspect of it, to be absolutely sure the men can rely on it 100%.
A number of sites have been earmarked for the IWS trials.
For example, Grant's house on the East Coast Main Line is a location where there is bi-directional working. It's currently protected by a TOWS system, but there are regular complaints from the neighbours about the noise from that. So we're looking to see what IWS could benefit there.
We're going to be using this in the Beatix Summit area. The radio waves are not very good there, talking about 200-300 yards at times with Brunel radios, back-to-back radios. So the signal is not very good there at the moment.
We're also looking at a single line location where there are always difficulties in a small branch line gaining sufficient time to work, and we're looking at East Kilbride branch for that purpose.
The big advantage that stuck in my head from yesterday was this 6 kilometres range. I mean, we tend to, if we're doing maintenance, we start at an area and walk. We've got to constantly have lookouts with us and move the van and things like that. If that could be set up a fair distance away, where we could then do our walking without having to constantly reassess the situation, move the lookouts, and that is a thing that I don't think we've had before.
Full details on the results of the trial will be available in SafetyNet 3, due out in late February. The RWE automatic track warning system will be trialled on the Royal Albert Bridge in Saltash, Devon through December 1996 and January of next year.
When a new system's set up and running, we'll be doing steelwork repairs, bridge painting and also track maintenance work.
It's an ideal situation because we have men continually working on this structure, and although the speed of the train is reduced because of the structure itself, there's still a risk of element of danger concerned. So as I say, we're fully enthusiastic.
The site has a number of special circumstances and hazards that will test the RWE system to the full.
The main difficulties is the limited clearance of the passage of the train and the curvature of the land around here. You can't actually see a train coming in the distance.
But the view from the Plymouth end is very, very poor because of the structure of the track just winds in and out through Plymouth and then comes straight out onto the bridge. You've got a platform at each end of the single line which has got to be addressed. There could be a train coming from Plymouth, then the train stops at Saltash. But there, the Saltash end, he's only 40 metres away from where the bridge starts, so there's got to be something put into the safety system which will allow us to still work. If you can get it to work here, you can get it to work anywhere.
On the site you've got 2 or 3 men at a time providing lookout protection. Now this taken away with a fail-safe system in operation, we'll be able to use that more labour intensive then.
Well, obviously safety is paramount. We must adhere to safety. If it's not safe, we don't do it. So therefore this system, if it's introduced, or when it's introduced, I hope it will be introduced, is going to be of infinite benefit because of the safety will be enhanced.
In Swindon, T-cods have been used by maintainers.
No problem to use at all. No problem. It's heavy enough, it's a thick enough cable, and it does embed itself in the rail sort of thing, so it's no problem. You've got your own safety device with you, haven't you, as opposed to just having the signal and putting a switch back. You've got something physical to actually drop the relay and put the track down. So if it's with you, you know, you've got control of it, in other words.
It could be useful in taking T2s, it's just the length of time it takes to actually setting it up, arranging with the signal beforehand.
Many phones to fill, but I don't know, probably for a longer occupation, like in this case I have in here one for the P-Way that lasts about 30 minutes or more, but I can understand it. It's like a T3 in a way, but for the T-card I think it's just a waste of time.
Any chance of taking out T2A now, please?
In the Pontypool area, T2A applications are now a regular feature.
Okay.
We decided with the cooperation of Railtrack Great Western that we would start trials on T-card working in the area. Most positive is the actual attitude of the men on the ground, which they find it easy to apply. They seem to have great trust in it because it's actual visual on-site application.
I can confirm with the signalman that that track is down. I know for definite that there's nothing going to come through. Get to talk to the signalman, get to know what you're doing. Once you know what you're doing, it's simple.
It has helped save on manpower, so normally there'd be 5 lookouts on the track. We've got them down there helping us to do the work.
You know, knowing the T-card is safe, especially on the curve like this, and you feel a lot safer with it in general. Like,
there's no additional paperwork involved in a T2A other than which we've already got for the other T2 routines. It's no more extra work, it's just a little bit more telephone involved by the testing of the circuit with removing the T-card and then placing it back on. I think it's got a big future. It's far safer, it's less trouble, the potential for safety-wise improvements far outweigh any of the other T2 methods.
To share and promote the safety partnerships, workshops designed to bring drivers, pie cows and signalmen together to share safety information are being piloted in Watford and Brighton. The workshops are planned with the aim of sharing best practice between employees and to develop mutual understanding of each other's roles. A new video, Near Miss 2, will be released in December, featuring recent incidents on the network. A communication from Railtrack Safety and Standards is being prepared to inform and assist in the changeover to the new PTS cards. For further information, contact Julia Hudson. A new Director of Line Safety has been appointed. In this role, Aidan Nelson will also chair the Track Safety Review Group and its activities. Green zone working is widely accepted to be the safe method of working. To maximise green zone working, information is now becoming available, letting everyone know when and where it can be used.
I would like a T2H, please, of the up and down slows.
To maximise the availability of green zones, we see a need to provide information on when green zones are available. Our site inspections show that in many cases contractors expect green zones to be available when they turn up on site. This indicates a lack of planning and a lack of an appreciation of the rail service. What we need to see is resources being made available when green zones are available.
But judgment is required on whether green zone working is suitable in each specific situation.
Okay, just taking it off.
Many pie cows have raised with us their view that work in a green zone at night may be riskier than work in a red zone in simple situations. We would encourage companies to use risk assessment techniques to determine the risks in both cases and to carry out work in the mode shown to be safest by the risk assessment.
I
think the key to maximisation of the use of green zones is planning.
Please give us your comments or views on any of the issues we've raised by contacting Aidan Nelson on 0121 654 3660. In the next edition of Safety Net, we look at the RWE and IWS trial results, the TCOD implementation briefing, the TCOD Green Zone full survey results, and look at the T3 investigation project.